negativity. Huh?
Someone just said, would you make a song with YoungBoy?
Would I?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question, man. So answer. Great question.
Yo, what is up, team? Let me tell you something right now. The streets are buzzing, and I am not talking about average individuals. We see GHerbo out here looking like he is playing a risky game, attempting to keep one foot in Chicago with Lil Durk and Oblak, while the other foot is almost entirely in NBAYoungBoy's circle. No lie, this situation is crazy, and when I show you what just occurred, you are going to understand why the entire internet is calling this man out for playing both sides. We are talking about a man who was in the struggle with King Von Home, who crafted his entire career alongside Lil Durk, now caught in the venue rapping NBAYoungBoy lyrics, line for line, like he is at a YoungBoy show. But that is just the surface level, gang. What occurred on that live stream with his son, that is when things became truly awkward. And that is when everyone realized what Herbo has been trying to do this entire time. Stay with me because this narrative is deeper than you assume. And honestly, it is becoming hazardous. Alright, let me explain it to you from the start, because to grasp why this is such a major issue, you have to grasp the history. GHerbo and Lil Durk, these are not just rap partners, fam. These are day ones. We are talking about two Chicago icons who rose up together, who represented their city together, who outlived the same streets that claimed so many of their friends. When other artists were signing deals and relocating to LA or Atlanta, these two remained tied to Chicago, remained tied to their origins, remained tied to each other. GHerbo is from No Limit, right? And if you do your research, and I mean truly do your research, you will know that the link between No Limit and Oblak goes deep. We are not just talking about group ties here. We are talking about family connections, about people who grew up in the same blocks, attended the same schools, lost the same brothers to the same conflict. When Herbo was in the hospital bed after getting shot in his foot, do you know who was in the bed right next to him? Do your homework on that. The point is, these links go deep. This is not surface level friendship for the lens. But here's where it gets even deeper. King Von, rest in peace to the icon. For real, Von was not just Durk's artist. He was not just Oblak elite. Von and GHerbo had an authentic bond. You can find photos of them together, clips of them talking at studios, at events, in the neighborhood. Just real love between two Chicago locals who understood the struggle. Herbo even stated in an interview that King Von was his brother, that he loved him to death, that he knew Von long before the stardom arrived. Those are his statements, not mine. So keep that in mind as this narrative unfolds, because that claim is going to come back to bite him. Now, here's the thing about trust in Chicago. It is everything. It is not just about who you are cool with when times are good, when the cash is flowing, when everyone is winning. It is about who you stand with when everything collapses. And right now, everything is collapsing for Lil Durk. So, let's jump to 2024. And this is where the narrative truly starts getting messy. Lil Durk gets incarcerated on some heavy counts.
Chicago-born rapper Lil Durk appeared before a federal judge in Florida this morning.
We are talking murder for hire, federal indictment, the whole deal. This is not a basic arrest where you pay bail and you are out the following day.
Chicago-bred rapper Lil Durk is now facing charges in connection to a murder for hire plot.
This is the kind of situation where you are looking at possibly spending the rest of your life behind bars. This is the kind of case where you discover who truly has your back. And while Durk is sitting in that cell, likely thinking about his kids, his family, his future, the internet starts gossiping about GHerbo. And not in a positive way, fam. First, the video leaks. And I am not talking about some blurry, hard to see kind of video. No, this is crisp, HD quality, several perspectives. The entire situation is recorded. GHerbo in the club, and he is not just in the club. He is partying. But here is the wild part. He is with NBAYoungBoy's team. We are talking about 4KT associates. We are talking about NBAYoungBoy's actual brother, right there in the same area. And Herbo does not look awkward. He does not look like he accidentally landed there. Shorty is dancing. He is grinning. He is looking comfortable as hell. Like this is where he desires to be. Like these are his people now. Now, let me clarify why this is a major problem. NBAYoungBoy's artist Quando Rondo was present when King Von passed. Quando's guy, Lil Tim, is the one who pulled the trigger that stopped Von's life.
According to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
And while YoungBoy was not physically present that night in Atlanta, the streets know the deal. There are rumors that YoungBoy bailed Tim out of jail, that he provided him cash to stay stable, that they are still close to this day. Whether all that is accurate or not, the image is there. And in the streets, image is reality. So, when people see GHerbo, a man who called King Von his brother, a man who rose with Lil Durk, in the venue with YoungBoy's people, the optics are awful. It looks like he is picking a side, and it is not the side people expected him to pick. But wait, it gets worse. The clip that truly set the internet on fire was not just him being in the club with 4KT. It was him rapping YoungBoy's tracks, And I do not mean he knew a phrase or two because the track was playing. This man knew the lyrics line for line. We are talking about word for word. Every ad-lib, every break, like he has been practicing the track, like he is a confirmed NBA YoungBoy fan. He is in there with his lady and they are both going wild to the music. His lady is filming. He is performing for the lens and he is rapping YoungBoy's lyrics with the same drive people rap their top artists' music. Now, some people might say, it is just music. Bro, it is not that serious. But in Chicago, in this situation, it is that serious because music is how these men talk. When you are rapping another man's lyrics, especially when that man is tied to your friend's biggest rival, especially when your friend is locked up fighting for his life, you are making a point, whether you intend to or not. The comments section went nuclear. O Block BJ, you know, the one who was present when Von passed. The one who fired back at Tim. He jumped in the comments calling Herbo weak. He is letting him know the deal. No filter. And BJ is not the only one. People from Dirk's team, people from O Block, they are all looking at this situation sideways. But here is what truly revealed everything. The live stream. So GHerbo is on a live stream with Ben Don Wright. Everything is fine. They are talking, discussing music, and then Herbo's son enters the frame on lens in front of hundreds of thousands of live guests. This kid looks at his dad and asks, would you record a song with NBAYoungBoy?
Huh?
Someone just said, would you make a song with YoungBoy?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yo, the way Herbo's expression shifted, you could see his entire mind trying to compute the correct reply. He froze up like a deer in headlights. His eyes grew wide. He started hanging, trying to figure out how to reply to this question without ruining his rep or burning bridges with either side. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he says, that is a good question. Man, I do not know. That is a great question. I do not know.
I don't know. That's a good question, man. So answer. Great question.
If you are truly solid with Dirk, if you truly meant it when you stated King Von was your brother, the reply should be instant. It should be, no, that is not happening. But instead, we got doubt. And in the streets, doubt means you are already considering it. Doubt means you are trying to keep your paths open. And that is when it clicked for everyone watching. GHerbo has not just accidentally ended up in spots. He has been actively trying to play both sides. The internet sleuths went to work after that live stream. People started finding old interviews, and they found plenty. There is a clip from a show where Herbo talks about being friends with both Dirk and YoungBoy. He says, me and YoungBoy, we do not have any beef. I am cool with him. I want to see him win. And then in the same breath, he is talking about how King Von is his brother, and he loves him to death. But here is the problem with that logic. You cannot love King Von and be cool with the people tied to his passing. You cannot say someone is your brother and then celebrate with their rivals. That is not how trust works. That is playing both sides and everyone can see it. Now, let me clarify something about playing both sides in Chicago. It is hazardous. Chicago street politics are not like other cities. You are either with someone or you are against them. There is no middle ground. Because when real conflict is happening, when people are dying, staying on the fence is viewed as the ultimate insult to both sides. Dirk's people are looking at Herbo like, we thought you were family. We were there for you when you required us, and now when we require you, you are in the club with our rivals. But here's the other side. YoungBoy's people are not foolish either. They know Herbo is still cool with Dirk, so they are looking at him like, is this real, or are you just using us for clout? They do not totally trust him either. So now Herbo is in a spot where nobody trusts him. He is trying to play both sides, but both sides are seeing through it. And that is when things get hazardous, fam. Because when people do not trust you, when they think you are being fake, that is when situations grow. The fallout from all this has been crazy. You have one group saying Herbo is a snake, that he is chasing whoever is popular at the time. And right now, let's be real. NBAYoungBoy is one of the top rappers in the game. So, some people think Herbo is just being tactical, trying to link himself with whoever can assist his career. Because let's be honest, when is the last time GHerbo had a major hit? So, maybe he is looking at YoungBoy's success and thinking he can join that fan base. Then you have another group saying, YoungBoy are not GHerbo's rivals. Why should he take on Dirk's beef? And on the surface, that is a fair point. But here is where that logic fails. This is not just about gang politics. This is about respect. This is about showing support with your people when they are going through the worst time of their lives. When Dirk is locked up, when his freedom is on the line, when he is facing the chance of never seeing his kids grow up, that is when you show where you stand. You do not have to go to war with Young, but you also do not have to be in the club dancing with his team and rapping his tracks. You do not have to go on live stream and say, I do not know, when asked if you would work with him. You can just remain neutral. Stay quiet, stay out of it entirely. But Herbo is not doing that. He is actively interacting with both sides. He is trying to keep ties with both camps, and that is what makes it clear he is playing both sides. If he truly wanted to stay out of it, he would stay out of it. But he is trying to be in it with both sides, and that is impossible. And let's talk about the timing. If this occurred 2 years ago when Dirk was free, when Von was still alive, maybe it would not feel the same. But right now, when Dirk is facing life in prison, that is when you are meant to show up the most. And instead, we have Herbo looking like he is trying out for 4KT. But here is what Herbo might not be considering. This kind of move can get you hurt. I am not being dramatic. I am being real. When you are playing both sides in a conflict where people have actually died, where there is real violence, you are putting yourself in danger. If someone from O Block sees Herbo in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and they are feeling some kind of way about him, celebrating with 4KT, what do you think might happen? If someone from YoungBoy's camp thinks Herbo is being fake, what might happen? Herbo is creating a situation where he could become a target from both sides. The bigger picture? Now, let me look closer and talk about what this truly means, because this situation is bigger than just GHerbo and Lil Durk. This is about a trend we keep seeing. Rappers changing up when things get tough. Someone gets locked up and suddenly all their day ones start acting strange. All those people claiming to be family, they vanish, or worse, they start hanging with the rivals. But what makes this situation hit harder is that GHerbo built his entire brand on being authentic, on being trustful, on representing Chicago. He is not some industry puppet. He is a street man who really lived what he raps about. So when someone like that starts moving questionable, it makes people question everything. If GHerbo can change up, who cannot? And let's talk about the message this sends to the youth. These kids are watching everything. They see GHerbo in the club with 4KT. They see him doubting when his son asks about YoungBoy, and they are learning that trust is conditional. They are learning that it is okay to change up when someone is down. That is hazardous, fam, because the streets run on codes, on respect, on trust. When those things fail, that is when you cannot trust anyone. But here is what is truly terrifying. This could grow into real violence. When you are playing both sides in a conflict where people have already died, you are creating a hazardous situation, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Let's say Herbo records a song with Young. What do you think happens next? Do you think O Block is just going to be fine with that? No, that is going to be seen as the ultimate insult. Or let's say Herbo is somewhere with young boys, people, and someone from Chicago sees him. Someone who lost a brother to this conflict. Someone who is still hurting from Von's passing. What might occur in that moment? People make emotional choices. People do things they cannot take back. And it is not just about Herbo getting hurt. What about the people around him? When you are playing both sides in a lethal conflict, you are putting everyone around you at risk. So, where does this leave us? GHerbo is in a tough spot right now, and honestly, it is a spot he put himself in. He is getting roasted on social media. He is getting called out by people from his own city. He is losing respect, and he has to figure out how to manage this without ruining his rep or getting himself hurt. Some people think he is going to address it directly, maybe clarify he is just trying to encourage peace. But that excuse is not going to work because people have already seen through it. Others think he is just going to ignore it and hope it fades away. But in 2024, nothing fades away. The internet never forgets. Those clips of him in the club with 4KT, they are going to track him forever. And Lil Durk, man, I can only imagine what he is thinking. Sitting in that cell, seeing all this play out, watching someone he viewed as a brother in the club with his rivals, rapping his rivals' music, trying to play both sides, that has to hurt differently because when you are locked up, you discover who is truly with you. And right now, it is looking like Herbo might not be on that list. The streets are watching and everyone is waiting to see what happens next. Is Herbo going to pick a side finally? Is he going to keep trying to play the middle? One thing is for sure, this conflict just became real and it is becoming more hazardous by the day. Because when you are playing both sides in a situation like this, eventually something has to break. Eventually, you are going to have to pick a side or both sides are going to pick for you. The smart move would be for Herbo to pick a side and stick with it. If he wants to be with Durk and O Block, then be with them entirely. Stop going to clubs with 4KT. Stop rapping YoungBoy's music. But if he wants to be cool with YoungBoy, then understand that means burning bridges with Durk, with O Block, with a lot of people in Chicago who viewed him as family. The worst move is what he is doing right now. Trying to have it both ways. Trying to play politics in a situation where politics can get you killed. That is the most hazardous position to be in. And that is exactly where Herbo is right now. What do you all think? Is GHerbo wrong for trying to play both sides? Do you think this situation could get violent? Leave your comments below because I want to hear what the people think. And make sure you subscribe because this narrative is far from over. With the way things are going, it might get a lot worse before it gets better. Stay safe out there, gang. And remember, trust is not just a word. It is a lifestyle. And right now, we are all watching to see who is truly about it. Because in Chicago, playing games can get you hurt. And GHerbo is playing a very hazardous game right now. This is not just about rap conflict anymore. This is about real life results, real danger, real violence that could occur at any moment.